Perform your final check, strip lights. I'll be starting soon. Report in, Drift Lights. Isaac Archer here. And welcome back to the channel. The looking glass is active, though I have no clue what I'm going to be doing today. Mostly because I did have plans, but I'm not in the mood for them. So the plans I did have went out the window because I don't exactly have the temper right now. So I'm basically just going to be going with the flow. Whatever I feel like playing at that moment is what I will be streaming. This also determines the length of the stream. If I feel like I am too angry to continue, I will just stop. I'll do my outro, and then I'll cut the stream. Now, what I was going to do today was incredibly determinate on a few things. It could have been could have possibly been Dokapom, but Mikan had a collab I conveniently wasn't alerted about. Even though we knew there were only 2 possible days this week that it could have been Dokapom, and I was not alerted, so I didn't know it couldn't have been today. Someday this week, his cousin's coming over, and we don't know when because she's not giving him a date, and that's a convenient question mark right there. Which leaves just the Saturday stream, which isn't even guaranteed because that's hoping to usually become Fallout with Zhao. So today's just a go with the flow day. I will not be streaming any of the main games. So I will not be streaming Cross Rays today. I will not be streaming Battle Destiny. I won't be streaming Kakarot. I won't be streaming Fallout. Generally, just assume that it's up in the air. Any of my games that require me to focus on the game and can't really flip-flop between aren't going to be showing up. So, especially games that I can brainless are more likely to show up. Now, if I do play Fire Emblem Engage, I will say it is going to be at a personal save and not the one I did on the Christmas stream. That save is basically irreparable. And these are all the games I have installed on the Switch. Pretty much almost all of them are playable for the stream. I'm not touching this because it's past 7 PM and I don't time travel. This would require other people to do effectively, and I'm not in the mood. Not doing either of these until I beat Xenoblade 1, and I'm not doing X. If you think I'm doing X, you can go fuck yourself. Which does leave most of my options on the table. mostly including games like Smash Ultimate, maybe some Air Riders, Pokken. I do have some games by Kairosoft, which are pretty brainless, honestly. Hyrule Warriors is a no, because that's a one save per account thing, and I'm not loading a save on another account just to play this more. Maybe Fire Emblem Warriors, that actually has multiple saves. I'm gonna be right back real quick. Hello, welcome to the chat. Still trying to figure out what to play. Mostly because I don't want to touch the main games. I'm not in the mood to be able to play those rationally. And I don't exactly want to bring down a Metopia stream with a bad mood. Fuck it. I'm in a bad mood, I might as well make some use of it. Super Smash Brothers Ultimates. What on earth is going on? Okay, not a single spirit I give a fuck about. Quick play. You can't play online battles right now. The network strength, due to an unstable network connection, the network may be busy or signal strength may be poor. Lovely, forgot because I'm right next to my PC, which eats all the Wi-Fi. And of course, because I'm streaming, so it kills that even further. Maybe play a Karasoft game. Those are simple enough that I can play them without my brain active. Is that or unplug my Switch, download a game that may or may not even be finished by the time stream's over. Maybe Air Riders. Could play Engage. Or I could play Three Hopes. But if I play Three Hopes, I'm probably going to want to make that a series. Same with Engage again. Then again, Three Hopes' protagonist quite literally despises Byleth, so... Give me a second, I'm going to take my Switch out the dock so I can turn on the volume. So I'll be able to hear it. Let me add the audio. Should already have a thing for it set up somewhere, so... Video capture device. Let me see if I can find that on my list. Oh, that is quiet as fuck. Go through here. Hide that, because that's not being used this stream. Do that. There we go. Why does that still have audio? Hide both of those. There we go. Fuck it, let's play Three Hopes. Let's click new game. Now, this is a stupid thing with this game. I do want to critique this immediately before I forget. Never pick easy. Easy is actually the hardest fucking setting. Because in easy, because enemies are a lower level, they give less XP. So you're actually less prepared for later game levels. His vision is based on cringe. That must be why I can see you in the chat. So the actual easy setting is picking hard. I'm playing on casual mode because Jesus fucking Christ, playing this on classic is terrible. Slow and steady because I at least like looking at the strategic information on my level ups. Now, as for what playthrough, I will get to that when I'm given the option. It is important. At the end of the day, this is a Warriors game. Near Imperial border, Alliance territory. Select a form. This just determines the gender of main character. Quite literally, as far as I'm aware, it has no gameplay difference. Does not affect your movement speed or anything. I might be wrong, though I don't recall it having a effect in previous games. Plus, this is a Warriors game. I get. I do not care for you. And now we have to pick the form of the Ashen Demon. which if you played Three Houses, you know who this is. This is Byleth. You can pick just like with MC, Shez, you can pick between male and female. As far as I know, it has no effect on stats. I'll at least lean into the contrast and pick Fem Byleth. I can't fit that. Mm, can't fit a last name either. Mm, give me a moment. Is there a constant I hate besides Ryder? But then again, that's because Ryder and I are stuck in the same body, so sadly it can't be her. Yep, Alea Hydrai, the Hunter constant. All of Fodlan. Same to you, Captain. Try not to die, God forbid you make me happy. Movement and camera controls. Left stick to move, right stick for camera, continue moving to dash. Team up with Get and Lasley to defeat the nearby enemies. Regular and strong attacks. Y attack for regular attack, X after a regular attack is for a strong attack. You can combine regular and strong attacks for combos. And based on when, actually dictates what you do. There's class action, Myrmidon class action. Hold X to charge the class gauge and release it to form a sweeping attack. You can move when charging. Stronghold gates opened. Now, I'm actually kind of glad that we start off as a Myrmidon here. It is honestly my favorite class in Fire Emblem, but sadly not for the reason that you'd think. Actually, it probably is if you know me well enough. It's because mums have a high skill stat, which in Fire Emblem means they have a high crit rate. They also have a high luck stat, which affects their crit dodge. Also, combat arts. Press right, hold. Trust me, it's easier. To display Quick Menu 1. Quick Menu 1 displayed, press Y or X to use combat arts or magic. You cannot use the same one twice in multiple times in a row and must wait for a certain amount of time. Technically, you can use it the same multiple times in a row as long as you wait the cooldown. Using combat arts and magic will reduce your weapon's durability. If its durability gets too low, you'll be unable to use corresponding combat arts or magic. It's restored at the end of the battle. It's basically just a resource. Wrath Strike! Grounder! Grounder is great against enemies that can fly. So, enemies with a Griffin, Pegasus, whatever. Also, enemies on dragons. Pick up green tonics to restore your health gauge. Yeah, I got it. Getz and Lasley broke off to assault the front line. Advance on the village ruins path. Base captains. Battlefields contain bases controlled by the forces. Kill them. Kill them, they'll start spawning enemy forces and they'll start spawning yours instead. Drain the stronghold captain's stun gauge and defeat them with a critical rush. At times, a stun gauge will appear over an enemy commander's head, captain, commander, whatever you want to call them. Continue attacking to deplete the gauge, then press X to perform a critical rush. This varies based on class. The stunned gauge displays when you land certain attacks against the enemy or when they perform certain moves. The stun gauge displays when hitting an enemy with offensive combat art or magic, executing a perfect guard, an enemy is preparing to use combat art or magic, or an attack knocks an enemy back. First point, the game hasn't told you that there is, in fact, a block button. Let's go! Strongholds. Battlefields contain strongholds that are controlled by the various forces engaged in battle. Enemies and allies alike will slowly regain health while in a stronghold under their own control. Tell the captain to take control of it. Pick up purple crystals to get durability back, which is the only thing that allows you to spam living fuck out of them. And frankly, they're a lot of fun. I don't know why you wouldn't. The Ashen Demon arrived. No one can beat the captain. Lasley has died. Geralt's mercenaries deployed reinforcements. When your warrior gauge is full, press A to unleash your warrior special. To fill the warrior gauge, deal damage to enemies, take damage from enemies, or pick up yellow tonics. This also varies. Mostly on weapon, but some classes have unique warrior specials. Captain Burling has died. Here she is, Alea, the Hunter. Don't try. You literally cannot win this fight. Yeah, you literally can't win. It's forced. But you can sure as hell lose it. This cutscene actually has 4 variations. It's based on which Shez and Byleth you pick. Which means every cutscene involving either of these technically has 2 variants, 4 if it has both. Hmm. This is Shez's unique class. Only he can use this class. Flugel. Gerald's mercenaries elites fell back to assist came in to assist Alair. Now just kill these. Hmm. Go down. Alair reappeared. That is the Flugel class. Hmm. back on my feet. Yes, it is. Prologue. A chance encounter. This is false. Now, technically, Three Hopes takes place in an alternate timeline, but the Church of Zeros does not control, not like have peace. Put simply, you know how it just said it's the main religion in Fodlan? That's because for the most part, it's the only religion in Fodlan. If you do not worship the Church of Seros, wow, have fun. You're not getting seen again. Because either you will be taught to worship the Church of Seros, or everything you know and love will be burnt to the ground. Welcome to Fire Emblem. This is normal here. Let's not ignore Thracia 776, where an entire, you know, army was casually wiped out by a meteor. The only reason I cannot stab you is because I don't have the ability to. Hmm. Why is it that both characters in this game that are basically just a voice in someone's head are fucking insufferable? There's Sothis in Byleth's and Arval in ours. You are a voice in our head. Over there does not help us, Arval. You are possibly the only character that can sass me in a mood like this and not die. No shit. Defeat the thief to clear the way for Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. Changing classes and new abilities. Isaac changed classes and is now a Flugel. Learned a unique ability. There are three types of unique abilities: action, support, and tactical. During battle, press L and X to check the class and the unique abilities of the unit you are currently controlling. Like this. Flugel. Unique action ability. Shadow Flash level 1. Gain a chance to perform a few attacks that instantly defeat non-commander units. Chance increases with hit count. Press ZR to dash a short distance. When HP is above is 90% or above, increases the warrior gauge fill rates. For the support, and the tactical, when ordered to attack, increases damage dealt to enemies by 30%. You can actually see an example of some stuff right there. There's the travel side of Shadow Flash. Like that. Item drops. Resources. Pick up a resource pouch and you'll acquire resources like ingredients and ore after the battle. The value of the resources depends on the color of the pouch. From best to worst is red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Basically, the one you want to see least is blue. Costas. This dumb fuck. Defeat the thieves and secure the escape route. Isaac is fighting at a disadvantage. Advantage icons will be displayed on the minimap or above enemy commanders' heads when you have an effect that offers you an advantage against them. The more advantageous effects that you have against the enemy, the more up arrows there will be. The easier it will be to decrease their stun gauge. The enemy will also get knocked back more easily when attacked. Advantages can be determined by class. Check class abilities on the status screen. See detailed information on which classes have a strong advantage against which enemies. Being a fighter class equipped with an axe, Edelgard has a strong advantage against lack-wielding enemies. Now controlling Edelgard. When it says serious advantage, it is not lying. You can use up and down on the D-pad in order to check such. Also, class details. Flugel. A sword-wielding class exclusive to Isaac can use magic strong against axes. Hold X during any strong attack to change the number of attacks. Press X to launch an attack. Class gauge will charge over time as you defeat enemies. When the class gauge fills completely, you'll add a sword icon to your stock. If you have 2 icons in stock, chain X to change your attack. Currently, I have 1. Hi, Dimitri. Dimitri is now playable. Dimitri is a soldier wielding a lance, meaning he has advantage on enemies using swords. Can you tell those two don't like each other? Crest effect. Units with crests can trigger crest effects under certain conditions. You can find out details about the crest effects by selecting details on the status screen and hovering over the crest name. Dimitri's case is the Minor Crest of Bladed, level 1. 20% chance to increase the damage dealt by combat arts in exchange for greatly increasing the weapon durability cost. Edelgard has the Minor Crest of Seros. 25% chance to slightly increase the damage dealt by combat arts. MC doesn't have one. And now we get to play Claude. Claude is now playable. Extra effective attacks. A weapon, combat art, or magic that is extra effective gives it a huge advantage against a specific enemy. When extra effective, you have 3 tiers greater advantage against the enemy. You'll deal greater damage, and the stun gauge displays upon all attacks. Examples of skills that grant extra effectiveness. Effective against armored units, cavalry, flyers, or monsters. Claude has a bow and arrow, which means he has advantage against flyers, as those are considered rider, as those are considered flying types. So Pegasus Knight, Wyvern Rider, etc. You tell I actually like Claude. He's kind of funny. Kind of hard to not. Order Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude to seize strongholds. Issuing orders. You can press start to during battle issue orders. Use A to select units and issue orders. You can use auto battle, of course, to do this simply. Seize the strongholds. That's a pop. It gives you a item based on the color of it. Florida sees the overgrown trail. Grounder! Vulneraries. R and B to use a vulnerary to heal. You only have a certain amount per match, but you do get them restored after every battle. Seize the strongholds. The thieves deployed reinforcements. Too many. Oh no, I have disadvantage. I don't care. Alois Rangeld. Beat Costas. All out offensive. Aurora Costas hit all out offensive, and everyone's just gonna gang up on him. Here it comes! I'll cut you down without mercy! And that Costas is dead. Awakening. When the awakening gauge is filled, press RB and A to awaken. While awakened, all attacks will make the stun gauge appear. Stun gauge will deplete quickly regardless of advantage. You'll receive bonuses based on the number of enemy defeated. Your HP will not reach 0 regardless of damage taken. Basically, in this mode, you are quite literally immortal. To fill the awakening gauge, pick up blue tonics, damage enemies, or execute a critical rush. Press A while awakened, or completely deplete the awakening gauge to trigger a warrior special and end the awakening state. However, while awakened, you cannot switch. Basically, it is impossible to lose while you are awakened. Unless the defeat criteria is hit other than, get defeated. Battle rank S. You obtain the following as an S rank and first time reward. S rank reward was a White Verona, and first time reward is a Bullion. Battle rank and rewards. There are 5 ranks: S, A, B, C, and D. If you hit D, you've somehow fucked up so goddamn bad I've got no clue how. This is a warriors game, you can turn your brain off. Higher ranks will net you more experience and gold. Your battle rank is determined by 3 factors: completion time, enemies defeated, damage taken. Additionally, first time you complete a quest, you receive a first time reward. You also receive an S rank reward the first time you achieve S rank as your result. Yes, there is a way to replay missions. So you can mop up ones you didn't get. The unit who performed the best in the battle will be selected as the MVP. MVP unit will gain additional experience. Level up. Now let's go over the stats in this case. It's kind of weird because this game seems to work off its own version of the stats. At least I think it does. So I'm getting that up. Alright, let's go over this. I forgot that skill got renamed to Dex. So let's go over all of these, shall we? We have HP. There is also a stat that cannot be leveled up through leveling up. That's its own thing. HP, which of course explains itself. I got 98 more health. Strength affects the physical damage you can deal. Magic, or mag, affects the magic damage you deal. Dex, which if you are someone like me, you love Dex, because that affects critical hit rate and critical rush attack power. Speed affects duration of awakening and cooldown time of combat arts and magic, of which we got 2 points. Luck increases higher chance of finding more recovery items in this game. Defense is defense against physical arts. Resistance is defense against magic. And charisma, or charm, is determines how fast your battalions have their endurance go down. You don't have access to those yet, so ignore that stat. It also just explained all this anyway, so who cares? Leveling up combat arts and magic. Combat arts and magic will be leveled up after they've been used a set amount of times. It will make them stronger and reduces weapon durability loss when they are used. Class experience in class level. Any units participating in a battle will receive class experience post-battle. If this raises their class level, they may acquire new combat arts, magic, or abilities, and their weapon level may increase. When a unit's weapon level increases, they'll be able to equip more powerful weapons and attack more times consecutively. Let's go over these items, shall we? The ones that actually matter. That being the first time clear and S rank. Stat boosting items like the White Verona permanently increases resistance by 2, and Bullion sells for high price. It's money. You get 1,000 gold from this. Oh, Blathed. The ones that are alive, yeah. Don't know, don't care. Agreed. No, it isn't. You have to go. I hope you have a good day. You think my puns are bad? Alois's are way worse. Western Barnabas territory. Adrestian Empire. Battle prep. After a battle, you'll be able to talk with your allies back at camp. Press A when near a unit to talk to them. Welcome to our humble base camp. Hi. I assume you're familiar with the Officers' Academy on the grounds of Garrick Mark Monastery, yes? The three young people you assisted earlier are the heads of the Academy's three houses. You'll find other students, teachers, and even members of the Knights of Seros here at this camp. I fear you caught us in the middle of an annual outdoor activity carried out at the beginning of the Academy school year. But the situation became quite the mess, and that band of brigands attacked us. I wish we could chat at length, but it seems the three class heads wish to speak with you. Alas, I cannot keep you all to myself. This is a great opportunity for you to bond with your rescuees. Yes, you have to talk to all three. Hey, friend, appreciate what you did back there. We'd have been in a world of hurt without you. Oh, regarding compensation, Eloise told me not to pay you personally. I guess when I handle it as a church thing, sorry about that. Hey, as long as I get paid, I don't care who's handing over the coin. You're definitely a mercenary, all right. Support points. Support points signify the strength of a bond between two units. Units gain support points by giving appropriate answers in conversation, forming actions to make the other happy, or heading into battle together. Speaking of which, if you talk with the others here at the camp, I can tell you a little bit that the students in my Golden Deer have. Now, Golden Deer has a pretty big weakness. It does not have many close quarters characters. The best you've got, I shit you not, is Raphael and Lorenz. Hilda's good with axes, but Raphael is just way better when you want raw damage output, and Lorenz has a lance. Leonie, I believe, also uses lances, but she's literally just a worse Lorenz, which pains me to say because I fucking hate Lorenz. We have the Black Eagles. Ah, there you are. Thank you for your assistance in the previous battle. I'd like to discuss your future if you have a moment. If you find yourself in no place to go after we accomplish our objective, I'm hoping we'll hire you on with the Empire. I can promise you'll be handsomely paid, including the work you did today. So, what say you? I'm not usually hired to subs by people quite so high up the food chain, by the special attention. I value your talent now that I've had the ability to see it firsthand. By the by, I've spoken with the others here in camp. If you'd like, I can tell you a little bit about the students in my own house, the Black Eagles. This has a very similar issue. You are either a lance user, or you have a bow and arrow, or use magic, with the exception of Edelgard, who uses an axe. Then we have Caspar. He is the most shonen protagonist of shonen protagonists in the entirety of fucking Fire Emblem. I swear to God. His logic is hit good. I can only get stronger. He is literally just a shonen protag. Complete with huge fucking appetite and never-ending desire to get stronger. Let me begin by first conveying my gratitude to you. We are in your debt. Also, I examined a map earlier, and the village where you are headed seems to be a little more to the east. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it. Checked the map earlier, but couldn't tell where in the woods actually was. Well, I'm glad I could be of service. I hope you are able to reach your destination this time. You were staying until sunrise, yes? I hope you'll take the opportunity to converse with others here. Of course, now I've sprung the idea on you so suddenly, you'd likely find yourself at a loss as to whom you got to speak to. On that note, I'd be more than happy to give you an introduction to any Blue Lion House students. Trust me, if you want versatility, you want the Blue Lions. Also has some of my favorite characters in the game. That's just Goku to a T. Yeah. Except instead of ki, he just gets gauntlets. Dimitri uses lances. Dedue, I don't remember. Felix, he's a worse version of Ash. Mercedes is one of the three best casters in Three Houses. Annette, I keep forgetting exists. Sylvain, I shit you not, I hate Sylvain. And Ingrid, I forget she exists. Literally, I only remember this house exists because of Ash and Mercedes. Everyone else here, I quite literally could not give less of a flying fuck. Looks like Dawn's almost here. Now, I will be making my choice based on who is recruitable later on. Because yes, you have to make that decision. Ah, Isaac, have you spoken with the house leaders yet? What? You're leaving? That won't do. Actually, I was hoping I could ask something of you. Could you hear me out? Yeah. What is it? See you, Junie. Okay, I'll put this to you simply. This is why I prefer this version of Alois compared to Three Houses Alois, because at this point we are not even past the prologue, and he is already showing that he is capable of being serious. Meanwhile, in Three Houses, he's mostly just cracking jokes. Honestly, you probably are. You'd be surprised, Avo. Except that you uh except you have no choice or agree to go of your own volition. Why couldn't main game Alois have been like this one? He's much more tolerable. Don't get me wrong, I love a bad joke every now and then, but his are mostly just painful. Even worse during the monastery segments where he keeps saying the same fucking shit. And you ruined it. Aval, I say this as someone who likes bad jokes. Let me. I get the feeling he's very well aware. I think they might be trying to dodge the question, Alois. Why did that feel oddly bloody? Dimitri, I have seen what you are like when you snap. The reason you hesitate to ask is because Jesus fucking Christ. Look, I say this as a man who quite literally hates playing Blue Lions. They have my favorite cutscene in the entirety of base game. We'll get to that if I ever play through the Blue Lions route of Three Houses. That cutscene is my favorite entirely because it shows Jesus Christ, this man is a fucking threat. He is not nice to us because he wants to be. He is nice to us because he has to be. If you know the cutscene I'm talking about, you know. I love that that doesn't react by the fact that I quite literally agreed of my own volition. if you look up, not like agree that you have no choice. Reflect on Edelgard. Dimitri. Claude. Trust me? Yes. Yes, he is. He is also a nefarious little shit. Quite literally, during a mock battle, let's not forget that that his main plan, if you pick Golden Dara, he flat out tells you that part of his plan was to try and poison the enemy, like try and poison the other two houses so that they're at a disadvantage. Like give them food poisoning. No. Then could you be quiet, Arval? Prologue. Yeah, we're still not at chapter 1. Derek Muck. Church of Saros. And if you think you've seen corruption in our world, Jesus fucking Christ, rare. He looked at our history for last God knows how many years and said, "What a business model," and then made it a religion. Remain humble. I do not care for if it. I do not care for if it makes you happy to be modest or not. Good call, Arvo. Why couldn't Seth be like this in the main game? Go ahead, Hanuman. Yup, please do. Now, what is worth mentioning is this doesn't mention to you that this also dictates which of the three teacher characters you get access to. I will tell you now, I am picking the Black Eagles, just like I did on my personal save, entirely for one reason. While Golden Deer may get me access to Claude, it also gets me access to someone significantly more, someone that's nowhere near as game breakingly good as the Black Eagle House. The Golden Deer gets you access to Shamir as a starting character. Well, you get her in Chapter 3. You can get her in the two other routes at Chapter 9. But the Black Eagles, at Chapter 4, gets you access to possibly the most dangerous character in this game. We also have the Blue Lions, which gets you access to a character that's only in this game as far as I know, known as Rodrigue. Hence why we're going with the Black Eagles. Yes. And the most broken man in this game. You know it's bad when he has his own signature class, technically has his own distinct weapon type, and has a special ability on par with MC. Hmm. No. I need an adult. This man is a badass. Yes, you did. The students of the Black Eagle House are now playable. Edelgard, who is a fighter class. They say Saint Saros bore this minor crest and passed it down through House Hresvelg. Hubert was a monk. Dorothea, also a monk, except, honestly, better. While her stats may be lower in terms of her offensive and defensive capabilities, she makes up for that by nature of being a tank. Sure, she has one less defense than Hubert, one less strength, which doesn't matter. She's a magic caster. The only downside she really has is that she has two less magic and one less speed. However, she makes up for that with 300 more health. Ferdinand von Ayer, a soldier class. 3,300 health, 10 strength, 7 magic, doesn't matter. 10 dex, 10 speed, 9 luck, 9 defense, 7 resistance, and 9 charm. Bernadetta. She is a fighter class, which means she has access to 3 different weapon types. Take the bow. She also has a crest, minor crest of Indek. Ferdinand also has one, the minor crest of Shishol. Shishol, don't remember how it's pronounced. But Bernadetta is our first character that can wield multiple weapon types. Axe, bow, and fist. Gauntlet. It's just gauntlets. So I'm going to be referring to it as gauntlet going ahead. Now, she has 2,700 health, 10 strength, 7 magic, doesn't matter, 11 dex, which, considering bow user, very good, 10 speed, 8 luck, 7 defense, 8 resistance, and 9 charm. Caspar. Fighter, also. In this case, give him gauntlet. Do not let him touch a bow and arrow. He's shit with a bow and arrow. As noted by the fact that he has, whilst defense stats, kind of, a little bit better luck, and a higher point in strength and magic than Bernadetta. Though he suffers one less dex as a result, and a lack of a crest. Petra. She is a Myrmidon. I ain't ever gonna talk shit on Petra. Any character in this game who has a good dex stat is alright in my book. And Linhardt, who has the minor crest of Setleen. He is also a monk. Yes, that is a guy. Do not question that that is a guy. Hi, Caspar. Yeah, Banadetta does not do well around things she doesn't know, or people she doesn't know. There is a reason she is a shut-in. She is also on the community nickname of Bunny Bear. Because let's be honest with ourselves here, if you know how to set up Banadetta right, she hits like a bear, but is also really caring and shy as fuck. I am very well aware that this game is Billy Kometz's last role. Ferdinand is much more tolerable than Sylvain, especially post time skip. I just don't like pre time skip Ferdinand. Petra speaks in English. That's because she's not from here. That's not me being like trying to be offensive or anything. No, she is quite literally a foreign exchange student. She's not from Fodlan. Yeah, um, it is very much a case that Shez does not have a crest. And this is not a case of like, oh, like how Byleth doesn't have a crest but later acquires one. No, no, no. Shez just doesn't have crest. It is also worth mentioning, I'm just gonna say this real quick. You cannot get Arval on first playthrough. It is literally impossible for that to be possible. Why do you think I like him? Because he doesn't waste time. Take notes, Mikan. 2 weeks later. Damn right we don't. I dropped the Joy-Con. This brings me to the reason I don't like pre-time skip Ferdinand. Anytime he can, he will bring up noble duty, like noble responsibility, etc. Anything to do with nobles. Yeah. I'm a sellsword, so. Yep, copy that. Defeat the thieves. A battle ends in victory when you fulfill the victory conditions and ends in defeat when you fulfill the defeat conditions. The routes of important units such as the main character and house leaders will also result in defeat. That's why it's not listed. These conditions can change during the course of battle. You can check the victory screen and defeat conditions in the battle prep screen and by selecting battle details in the pause menu. I am going to do the smart thing and save. Because I don't think I can currently focus enough to do this mission, and we are approaching the 2-hour mark anyway. So I am going to wrap up here. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the Drifter, Isaac, and in between welcomes you. See you then.